And if the main shooter is experienced and you're not experienced, guess what? The images will never match up. The styles will never match up. The quality will never match up. The storytelling aspects will never line up because you don't know how to be a storyteller. You're not there yet. Welcome, Mr. Sean Jackson, back at it again with another hot topic to discuss with you all. Thank you for your support so far. The other videos have been doing very well. You guys have commented, you've called me, talked to me about it. You enjoy the content. You've been kind of letting me know how much you value the content that I've been providing, and I want to keep that going. So thanks again. Be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. That way you're notified when I post a new video. And it also helps the channel. So today I want to talk about second shooting as a wedding photographer. I don't believe that as a newer photographer, you should second shoot at all. What? Don't second shoot? Yeah, you shouldn't. If you want to grow as a photographer, you don't need to second shoot. That doesn't make any sense. Everyone always says if you want to build your portfolio, you should second shoot. No. No. Do not try to second shoot if you have not shot a wedding before. Even if you shot one wedding before, do not second shoot. Even if you shot two weddings before, do not second shoot. Yeah, I said that. All right, let me explain why. When a client hires me to document their wedding, there are going to be times when I'm by myself. My second shooter will be by themselves. If they don't have any experience, what are they doing? I need those files. My client, they're paying for two experienced shooters. And if an unexperienced second shooter is in a room by themselves, they only know how to do what they know how to do, which is not much. Does that make sense? I want you to think about that for a second. Let's say you're a newer photographer, you're watching this, and you're telling yourself, I need to go second shoot with somebody experienced. I'm going to learn a lot on wedding day. I'm going to shadow them. Trust me, when it's second shooting, you're not shadowing. You have to deliver the images for that client. And if the main shooter is experienced and you're not experienced, guess what? The images will never match up. The styles will never match up. The quality will never match up. The storytelling aspects will never line up because you don't know how to be a storyteller. You're not there yet. You haven't walked enough miles. You don't have the experience to deliver the files that the main shooter is depending on. Now it makes sense. All right, I'll give you an example. 2016 August, I'm a very experienced wedding photographer. I mean, it's 2016, not that long ago, but I had a lot of experience. And I had a recent wedding client who had they hired me to shoot a maternity session for them in Houston. And a good friend of mine was also in Houston shooting a wedding. And I said, hey, bro, if you need some help, let me know. I know you have a second shooter there, but on wedding day, while a second shooter is valuable, sometimes it helps to have a third person there, even if it's to hold some lights. I believe that if you're newer, you should be holding lights, moving bags, be a gopher on wedding day, be someone they can depend on, be a runner, because a runner is valuable. There are times I need a runner and there's not one available. Be a runner, be a lighting assistant, because as a lighting assistant, you're helping make images. You get to see how the images is being made. You're working the recipe for the final product. As a second shooter, you don't get to see the magic being made. You don't. So back to my story. Again, I told my buddy, hey, if you need some help, let me know. I don't mind helping you because we're both in the same city. We both flew in to take care of clients. He's like, cool. Here's the information. We all went to rehearsal together. And on wedding day, I'm helping him out. And I'm like, I'm holding lights. He's like, hey, do this, do that. And it's stuff I've done before, but I've never done it for somebody else. And I was like, oh, wow, okay, that's how this photo is made. Aha, it makes sense now. And we're working the scene together. And at part of the day, doing the prep, we're both shooting the bride in the hotel room. They're laughing, they're having a good time. He looks at me, he says, come with me, let's come outside real fast. I'm like, all right, what's up? He's like, let me see your camera. I give him my camera. Here's my camera. He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "What do you mean what I'm doing? I'm documenting what's happening. The girls are having a good time. I'm shooting it." He's looking through the files. He's like, "Yeah, they're laughing, but you're missing the point of the story." I'm like, "Don't forget, you ain't paying me, right? I'm helping you out." You know what I mean? And he's like, "Yeah, but you're missing the story." And I said, "Let me see your camera, bro." I'm going through his files, and I'm like, "Wait, we're in the same room. You're not doing anything different, but how the photos are being composed are different. There's layers to it." I'm like, "Well, damn, like, I didn't see all this happening. While it's happening in front of you, there are layers to a story that happens that you have to be mindful of." And if I was a second shooter, remember, he has a second shooter already. And that second shooter is with the guys doing his own thing. Luckily, he's pretty experienced, so he's not really missing much per se, but he's missing out on some stuff. And what's funny is after, we go through the files, he kind of gave me some information. Cool. And his second shooter said, "I wish I had a chance to assist because I can pick up some things that he's putting down. Because while he's experienced making his own portraits happen and documenting the moments, there are things that he's never gotten a chance to do because he's stuck being a second shooter." That's why I say I don't believe if you're newer, you should be second shooting at all. Bring your camera, but hold those lights. You could be the person could be a third shooter. Fill in the gaps here and there. Because there are things that are happening, let's say the ceremony, where you could be focused on the parents as third shooter. Those files are important, but they're not as important as the first and the second, shooter, main and second shooter. If you have those photos and they're cool, you can add to the collection. But we're not dependent on a third camera to deliver the products to our clients. So I'll say it again. If you're newer, ask to hold lights, ask to move bags, ask to do whatever you can to be next to the first shooter or the second shooter. Be the assistant, because you're going to learn things that you can never learn while being in the room by yourself as a second shooter. Because when the client is paying for experienced shooters, we have to deliver that to them. I can't say, well, you're going to pay for two shooters and one shooter is just a warm body. It doesn't work that way. That's not how you conduct business. I know it works for some people. They can play it off and fill in the gaps for themselves. But if you want to get a complete, full story for the client, you need to have a real experienced second shooter. Someone that's on par with you, could be under you, or somebody greater with more experience than you. But to have somebody who has no experience or very little experience, you're doing yourself a disservice to that client and to your own business. Because now you have to go through photos that are probably trash or trash-like or just not there yet. Don't DM me, tell me, hey, man, I want a second shoot anyway. Because I've had a lot of people DM me asking me, hey, can they second shoot? And I ask them, have you shot a wedding before? They'll say either no or they'll shot one or two. No, I'm sorry. You can hold these lights. And most people who I've talked to, they never want to hold lights because their ego will not allow them to be an assistant on a wedding day. Everyone wants to make the magic and nobody wants to put the recipe in to make the magic. And the recipe usually happens when there's a first, an assistant, or a second shooter and assistant to make that things happen. Get it? Good. This video is very short. I want to thank my sponsors out there, Tashawn Jackson with Tashawn Jackson Photography. Yeah, I'm my own sponsor for now. Trying to get to John Branch level with about 5 million sponsors. But it's okay. I'm walking my own walk, doing my own thing, doing it my way. You know what I mean? I'm not really out here hunting for sponsors for YouTube. I'm doing it the way I want to do it, all right? But I'm not turning nothing down either. If you want to sponsor a video, if you want to sponsor one of my videos, let me know. Slide in my DM, slide in my email, hello@TashawnJackson.com. You can see how to spell my name via my YouTube channel, or just you'll figure it out. Anyway, have a wonderful afternoon. I have to get ready for a crazy weekend and week of travels. It's going to be a madhouse. Yeah. But I want to give a shout out to Gikoto Lighting. To this lighting bar is so dope, yo. Let me tell you. It's what I'm using to light me right now. I'm shooting on my Fuji X-T4, my 35 millimeter lens. Yeah, I always talk about products I love using. I'm using on my Manfrotto 055 trusty tripod. But yeah, anyway, have a wonderful afternoon. enjoy my rest of my channel. Like, comment, subscribe, and be sure to share with somebody. Share with somebody. All right, we out.